There's a video going viral, about Nima's governor, Mariam's husband's governor, Tokwe's husband's governor. I don't want to use your governor. Governor Okwebolo of Edo State. Okwebolo of Edo State, where he was trying to present his 2025 budget to the House of Assembly. The video is quite interesting because he was having trouble picking out the numbers. You know how in primary school where they teach you how 6.5 or 6,000 and 58,000 or 251,000, and some people just say also they pick the numbers differently, but they don't know how to arrange the numbers. So the governor seemed to be having problems understanding how to speak out the numbers of the budget. The video will show you in a moment, but we'd like to hear your thoughts on this because this brings up quite very interesting issues. Because currently his WAEC results allegedly are on social media. We don't know how accurate or inaccurate that is. And people are having lots of comments that the people get the kind of governor they deserve. So we'd like to hear your thoughts on this because people are using it to discuss the former governor. They're comparing him to the former governor, who is a pure through and through technocrat, who is, I think he was a lawyer, who is able to express himself properly, and in comparison to the current governor. Others are saying, hey, politics is local. Why are we judging somebody by their ability to read numbers or not? It's not a big deal. What we need is a man who actually can do the job. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081 0764 1679 090 241 You can also send us messages on YouTube. We'll read your messages and on X. So who would like to go first? I mean, I saw the video and I was like, okay. Okay, I'm told the video is ready. Let's watch this clip.
The Edo State 2025 appropriation bill of 605 billion 76 million. Let me take it again. 506 billion. 605 billion. Sorry. 776 billion. Sorry. It's confusing me. Okay. Sorry. Yes.
Order in the house, please. Mr. Speaker must be heard in silence, please.
605 billion and details of the budget proposal for your consideration and approval. Thank you.
Oh, see Brian's face.
Welcome back. So, I have a governor, Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, and if I heard my governor speak that way, me, Ryan, I'll be very embarrassed. But I know others aren't embarrassed. They feel it's not a big deal. But let me come to you, ladies. What do you think about? Let me start. Is your husband's? I wish Nima was here. But I'm asking Nima, your governor, but your husband's governor. How do you think?
My children is our children's
governor. Okay.
So yesterday was my husband's birthday, so we're having dinner together, and we discussed this largely, and it's embarrassing for every indigene every citizen, or is it indigene? Every person from Edo State, indigene of Edo State. It's an embarrassment. You feel very weak watching it because you want your governor to represent you, as in your governor would speak and you would be inspired. You would want to go and live wherever you're doing your business to say, let me go back home. People are not ready. But it didn't pass that across. Confusions can happen. People get confused. You can make a mistake with reading out numbers. Sometimes, if I want to read out billions of naira, I deliberately start counting 3 zeros, put comma, 3 zeros, put comma, so that I understand. But it also shows lack of preparation because you are going to be presenting the budget of your state. This is one of your first major activities as the governor. everybody that works in his press team, in his finance team, the heads should actually fire them. Like, fire and rehire people who will tell you the truth, Governor, because the people you have around you are lying to you. Guess what, Morayo? Media clips are defending him to say that the former governor will not make that mistake because the former governor has stolen so much money, he knows how to call big money. And I'm like, you will have people, Nigerians, defend the indefensible just to please a politician. We will not call a spade a spade. We will not say the truth. Any politician that does not have somebody that will call them and tell them what you're doing is wrong. Governor Okpeholo, if nobody told you that this is an embarrassment and you should work on your speaking, the person hates you. Anybody that said it is good, they hate you. Because if anybody wants your good, they will give you positive feedback. They will give you the harsh feedback. You will sit down and you will cry. And then you will tell yourself, never again. This should never happen again because you have the next 4 years to show that you are smarter than what they have concluded about you.
Mariam.
When I watched the clip, I have to say I couldn't watch it to the end. I had serious, major second-hand embarrassment.
Yeah.
It felt like, it was happening to me. And for me, also, I put it down to preparation. Yes, you may not be able to call the numbers. You may not be good at calling numbers, or you may struggle with reading and comprehension and things like that. It should have been written out in words, so he would have read it out. Second,
Practice.
First of all, let me just dwell on that a bit, because where I'm going next, I don't want it to be a defense of what he's done. I'm just saying that if he had prepared, he would have come across these numbers, and he would have known that he would have to read out these numbers. And then he would have made sure he had prepared on how to read it out. But secondly, it also shows to me that he may not be fully involved in the writing up of this budget. Yeah. If you don't know the figures, you don't know where they're supposed to go, you don't know which who has what, and what's meant to be used for. So it shows to me that some people put a budget together, and the governor really not aware of where any money is going. So that's what it showed me, and that is what is dangerous. So the list is about reading numbers. I struggle with reading numbers too as well, especially when there are too many zeros involved. So the second part, which is just a PR part, is an aide would have walked up immediately as he was struggling. I don't understand.
Possibility.
An aide should have walked up immediately with a piece of paper that had the full thing and to give him to read it.
They were equally shocked.
You should sack them.
No, you can't be shocked. That's your boss. You know his strengths, you know his weaknesses. You know what he will struggle with. That is why we have aides. That's why we have these people that work alongside us. It's not just to put people around us so that they will say we are helping people. They should also help you to look good. Yeah. Many people make gaffes. A lot of international, what do you call that, America, whatever, we've seen all sorts of gaffes that they, that they have committed. And we see how media also tries to cover up for them, depending on who they support. So that media, you see, is just supporters trying to support them. But I'm hoping, just as you have called, that he would sit down and look at the importance of sounding as if he's in charge really of his government, of his budget, and the resources that the Edo people need and where it's going. Because it just shows that he's not really involved.
I like that angle. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let me hear your thoughts.
So, education is not a scam after all. Yes, and it's important for us to love ourselves. Because if you love yourself, you want to improve on yourself. I don't understand how in Nigeria we take a lot of things for granted because we just feel like that in Nigeria you can just get away with anything, or when there's money or stuff. Because for you to be able to want to assume certain positions in life, in politics, in different sectors, it's expected, common sense, that you're prepared for it. Self-development. You want to be a governor, you'll be making lots of speeches, you'll be talking to people, you'll be addressing people. It's assumed that even if you don't go looking for it, you have a coach, they bring one to you that teaches you how to comport yourself, how to stand, when you want to take pictures, how to hold yourself, how to speak, how to pronounce. It's just self-development, loving yourself. And then he has to fire all the advisors, the aides, because why should you write a speech for your governor and then there are figures that are not written in words? It's unheard of. What is your job as a PA? What is your job? And like Mariam rightly said, immediately you just notice that he's struggling with something. What are his PAs? Usually these people have up to 5, 10 PAs. They have essays. What are their jobs? What are they doing? Immediately they're supposed to does he not even have an earpiece where he's supposed to, when he's having when he's he should have it in his ear, where someone else is even calling it out and he's saying it. There must be a plan where you're for the fact that this embarrassment happened.
Yeah.
Everybody around his team should take the fall, because what rubbish.
There are a few things that you guys have said that I'd like to pick up on. Let me start with what Mariam had said, and I'll end with what you said. It just shows the man is not in charge of his budget. Because for me, that is deep. Yeah. Because if you had sat down with everybody, every of your team members, how much do you need for the roads? How much do you need for the women's development? How much do you need for the youth development? How much? What are we talking about? You've gone over it, line by item. You would have rehearsed the numbers so many times. You won't come to the house for them to come and talk this nonsense. But because you really are totally aloof of what is going on, you have no clue. They'll just give you paper. And that is the old, that's why I keep going back to this renewed hope thing. Like, many people are not aligned, what they say, because there's a way we used to do things. And that's exactly what he has shown us here. Many governors in the past, they have no clue. They only show the money, approve it, let us give our cronies, let us do what we have to do, and then let's see what they trickle down to our development. But the new leadership we expect going forward, especially after coming out of that kind of election last year, young people are expectant. Young people are demanding real credibility, real leaders. So it's embarrassing that this is the same state Pastor Itwa Igodalo is from. This is the same governor of Aswa Igodalo. This is the same governor of Adeswa Uyenokwe. This is the same governor of Adeswa Efedi. That's the vice president of for one of the major agricultural companies in the world. These are they have educated people.
Yes.
Who can take the stand? It is not about your English. Because
the same governor of the Lunge family.
You know that if it was Patience Jonathan, she won't make that kind of gaffe. She might not know how to say it, but even though she has a gaffe, do you know she can be smart enough to take a pause
roll it over
and tell people to come, tell her, or say, 1 second, we'll do this thing again. Because she's smart. She has to now come back to what you said, confidence.
Yes.
I don't know these numbers. Okay, you pause. Somebody comes, you write it up for me in letter. They will wait for you at the governor.
Yes.
It's confidence that gets to that point where I don't know these numbers, you wait. Come and do it for me. But because if you lack confidence, you don't even know how to go over or fix your gaffe. We all make gaffes.
People know, actually. People know this weakness. So this is not the first time he's had issues with speaking publicly.
Remember we talked about it during the campaign.
During campaign, people knew that he was not the most confident or eloquent speaker. And it was something that they felt, maybe they felt...
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. They just, we will vote and we vote. And that's why the comments, people get the leaders they deserve. Like you are the one that would get, it's what you want that you would get. And because I've lived in Lagos, when I was born in Lagos, I've lived in Lagos all my life, and I'm looking at the governors, and there are many other governors. I've spoken to several other governors, and I know that your job requires you to sell the dream of your state. Your job requires you to, you don't even need to have the, you might not even know the number. You might not even be the one to present the budget. Like if you have prepared, your job is to convince people to buy into your dream. So Edo State is a dream. He has plans. And who will sell those plans? It is him. So his ability to handle and manage the public figure, his perception is very important. If people think that you cannot handle it, they will not bring their money into Edo State. And right now, this video makes it look like the governor does not know how to handle or might not be able to handle it. So there needs to be a fix-up quickly.
Okay, unfortunately, we have to wrap up on this, but I think I have one caller. Good morning. We lost that caller. But really, in a nutshell, the truth is that we expect governors across board, across party lines, across any for all the various regions in our country to do better. For every outing you have, you need to prepare. Because this is in this season. Everything you see, even the way you breathe, I get in trouble a lot. And I'm just a regular person. Now imagine a governor. So we all make goofs, we all gaffe in different ways. We understand that. But you must also know how to move from it and be smart enough to find redress. But what we saw is quite embarrassing, and we hope that the governor is able to fix this going forward. That's all we can take on this hot topic. Let's go on a short break. When we come back,